and welcome back to Logan Sounds Off. Today on my podcast, I'm going to be reviewing the album, The Blue Album, by the alternative rock group Weezer. I'm really excited to get into this. I recently got back into this album after I was listening to the 30th anniversary edition of this album, but it was a little EP of 4 tracks off this album, but they re-recorded it live at Spotify Studios, and an interview also came with it, so that you can watch the live show on YouTube, but you could listen to it and stream it on Spotify. And it was really interesting listening to it 30 years on, and it sounded incredible. Whoever mixed and produced that particular EP and was there during the live set regarding cameras and the research, it was really, really cool and just really, really fun to watch. So I originally had this album on a CD, and it was given to me by my uncle Eamon, and I used to listen to that CD a bit. I didn't listen to it too much at the time. I wasn't too much of a fan of Weezer. I was listening to really the more common tracks, Buddy Holly and Say It Ain't So. They were really the only ones that I knew at the time. But because I recently was getting back into it, I was listening to more of the songs off the album, and I discovered it on LP at Golden Discs. So I picked it up and I got it as an LP. And as they were talking about in the interview, it's one of the most plain records you will ever come across. You have the band members, the title. You nearly have the album title with the colour, so nearly. You have the track list. You have your very limited credits on like production, engineering, where it was recorded and mixed. And an interesting fact, if you don't know, this was recorded and mixed at Electric Lady Studios in New York City in August to September 1993. So actually the time that I'm recording this, it's around that time, except it's 31 years ago. So 31 years ahead, it's currently the 21st of September when I'm recording this. So, 21st of August. God, the 21st of August. So it's really cool looking back on this album, and I picked it up on standard black vinyl. Again, just very basic LP, and it came with a poster as well, which is a really cool image, just of the band and some amps. You see your Weezer drum kit, you have your Marshall amps, your guitars, your acoustic guitar, your hats, your posters, your orange as well, a little desk fan as well. So really cool, just typical. And I think that's a coffee cup. It might be, I'm not sure. But a really cool black and white image there to accompany the listening experience, which actually is quite cool. Listening back to this album, because I hadn't listened to the song, let's say, Buddy Holly, which was my favourite for quite a long time, as well as you've got Buddy Holly, and I was listening to that with the 30th anniversary version. And what was interesting to me was listening back to the original studio version. It was really weird and really cool to get back to that. But this album is fantastic, so I'm excited to get into it. Starting off with the first track called My Name is Jonas. And at the start you've got this acoustic guitar that introduces the song, which is really, really cool. It's quite crisp and clear, and it starts off the song really well. That's when the distorted guitars kick in and the really loud drums come in. It blows you away, really. And it's just fantastic, the loud guitars. I love the sound of the guitars throughout this song as well. And you can really hear Brian, who is the singer, but I know the lyrics were by, was by Rivers, one of the other members. He did the lyrics on this particular album. But Brian really just went for it on this particular song. It was really, really cool. And then you've got the next song, No One Else, which if you've watched the interview and the live performance, you'll know that Brian actually wanted No One Else to be the single for this album, one of the singles. So I really like this kind of classic distorted sound that's going on here, as well as the kind of power chords that are playing. It's kind of your classic basic power chords, but it's really, really cool, and they parade throughout the entire track. And Brian's vocals really kind of they reach a high point towards the chorus, which is really, really cool. And I will say, throughout this whole album, the vocal harmonies are quite on point. I really, really like that. And I have to say, I really love those kind of vocal harmonies. So it's really, really cool. And then you have a kind of more sadder song that you go from My Name is Jonas and No One Else to The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, which sounds kind of like a Smiths song. If I'm being honest, it sounds kind of like a Smiths song, but it's not. Very, very different. There could be like no more differences between the Smiths and Weezer, but it does sound like a Smiths track, the title, but the song is completely different, and it has some acoustic guitars like My Name is Jonas, and really cool loud guitars. And also, I know I'm speaking a lot about the guitar because personally I love hearing a guitar in an album, but the bass in this is phenomenal, fantastic, really, really good. So the bass is really good in this as well, and I love the drumming and lyricism as well on this track. It's very good. Just fantastic, especially the chorus. I love the chorus's lyrics. It's very good. And then you have Buddy Holly, which is a classic track. If I was to say a gateway track into this album, a lot of people would say Buddy Holly, but no, honestly, after listening to Buddy Holly a lot, I do think I prefer a number of other songs in the album. Now, I'm not trying to say it's not a good track. It's a fantastic track. And if it's your favourite, I can see why. It's one of my favourites. I just don't know. But it does not, like, there is no introduction to this song. It's done. The lyrics start on the first bar of the track. It does not introduce anything. There's no, like, little crinkling feedback at the start to put in a little bit of ambience. No, it's dunk. Straight into the track. And it's really, really cool. And Buddy Holly's just loud and noisy, like a kind of punk rock song should be. So that was really cool to listen back to that song as well. And some great lyrics. And it's just a fantastic song. Really, really well done. And I would love seeing this played live afterwards, because this is one of my favourite Weezer songs. So it's cool to see this. And then you've got one of my other, and I just want to say, by the way, the set, if you do want to know more about the set, they play Buddy Holly, Undone the Sweater Song, then they play Say It Ain't So, and then they play Surf Wax America. Why couldn't you just play it in order, guys? I mean, literally, just, you mixed two songs, but you know. It was cool to hear that. But Undone the Sweater Song, which was also on that recording, I love the intro to this. The drum fill and then the hilarious like dialogue throughout it is actually brilliant. Like, hey bro, at the start. This party's gonna be rad. It's just very funny listening to it now. And even they did it on the live recording, which was fantastic. So I loved hearing that. So regarding this song, it's got a really cool guitar melody and sound. I love this song a lot. It's really, really good, and I think it's a lot of people's favourites, and I can definitely see why. The melody on this is a classic, and just the loud noise in it is just fantastic. It's so just brutal, the chorus especially in this track. And then you have Surf Wax America, which is so cool. And this is a fast-paced kind of hard rock song that is awesome, and I really enjoyed the bass in this song. It's really, really cool. And I think with a lot of rock music, the bass can be very underrated, especially where the bass can amplify a guitar's kind of beefiness in a way. And I think that happens a lot with Nirvana. So I will say that's one thing that I really wanted to bring up, where bass is really good for rock music, and it can really make a song sound so much better in so many ways. So then you move on to side B, which is Say It Ain't So, and I love the guitar sound in this. It's just so crisp and clear, like in My Name is Jonas, except it's electric guitar this time, and some cool drums. I love the drumming on this record. It's really good, and the distortion in this song too is very well done. And there's feedback on the second chorus, instead of it just being dung dung, yeah, dung dung, afterwards with the feedback. I know I sound like, if that was taken out of context, those noises, it'd be very disturbing, but I'm trying to describe it here for you guys. But it's really well done. Now, is it my favourite track? I've listened to this song a lot. Don't know if it is. I've kind of gotten sick of it. Now, that doesn't mean that now. I'm just adding a personal opinion here. this does not affect the rating of the album whatsoever. It's because I overplay songs. So I overplayed that a lot. My favourite track on this album, In the Garage. And it's so underrated and it's fantastic. I love the lyricism in this. It's funny. It's kind of just fun about a guy being in his garage just singing a song. And that's it. It's that simple and it's fantastic. Even though there's other guys singing along with him while he's in the chorus. But this is my favourite song on the album. And it's a really fun track and has some really brilliant catchy lyrics, like fantastic lyrics. I love it, the lyrics on this particular song. And then you move on to Holiday, and is a cool song with a kind of a really excellent bass line and a super cool ride cymbal. I love the ride in this with some weird lyrics but cool. Especially when it comes to after chorus where they repeat Heartbeat over and over again. It gets a bit grim nearly. And then you've got Only in Dreams. And this is an 8-minute hard rock sensation that crushes the end of side B and crinkles it up with this just super cool distorted sound. It's a fantastic song, Only in Dreams. Overall, the album, the music behind these 4 guys on the front cover, really good. I love the music. Solid 4.5 out of 5. I think it's really good album. Regarding the album art, they tried harder in their latest album. They did have 5 albums entitled Weezer. So you had the Black Album, the White Album, the Blue Album, the Green Album, the Red Album. They're not in order. That's how many I can count anyways. I think there's more, but look. And then also you've got the Seasons series as well, where you've got 4 albums, or 3 or 4 albums in that as well. It's crazy. There's so much music by Weezer out there. But for this particular album, I really like it, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Please subscribe, please share, please like, please comment. It helps so much. And if you even didn't like the video, if you even hated the video, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Bye guys. See you in the next episode.